What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Madden 07 Albuquerque Vipers franchise. Today it's the offseason, jumping into season 5 now of this franchise. Last time around here, looking at the last video in this series, it was the Super Bowl where the Indianapolis Colts were finally able to win the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, and they defeated the Green Bay Packers 45-22. I'm just going to take a quick run through here of the NFC Pro Bowl team because there's actually a handful of Vipers on there, starting with Orlando Cross, who is actually the starting quarterback for the NFC, along with Aaron Rodgers and Matt Leinart. He got himself to the Pro Bowl. 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, apparently enough to get you there. Let's see if there's any other Vipers. I know there's other Vipers on here, but you got to go down to the offensive line, which I might have to tweak the sliders for because they got a crap ton of pancakes, especially Tariq Glenn, $134. I don't know if that's an NFL record or not. It might be. That just seems a little tad bit maybe unrealistic. Chris Diamond, the second-year center, I believe he made it to his first Pro Bowl. Indeed, it is his first. He only gave up a few sacks this season. On the defensive side of the ball, our rookie Antrell Wilson, the second-round pick out of Boston College here. He had 13 sacks, which I believe was tied for second in the league. He goes to the Pro Bowl, as does another great defensive lineman here in Albuquerque, Daryl Finnan, with his 9 sacks in his second year. We got a couple corners here with Ike Taylor and Dre Bly. They both have a ton of interceptions. Something else that I'll probably change in the sliders, because every now and then you will get a player who has 7 interceptions. I think Dre Bly had a season with 10. Yeah, last season he had 10. But we just seem to get an unrealistic amount of interceptions going our way. So I'll probably tweak that slider a little bit as well. And then Dante Hall, in his second year in Albuquerque, he goes to his second Pro Bowl as a Viper, as a return man. Just taking a quick look now at the Pro Bowl, you just saw the rosters. The NFC beats the NFC 31-30. Orlando Cross had a couple touchdown passes there, as did Aaron Rodgers. I did play a little bit of the Pro Bowl, but I wasn't going to play the whole thing. Maybe I'll throw a clip up or something. Orlando Cross, he only played one half, remember. He threw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. The AFC had a tough time throwing a lot of interceptions between Manning and Brady. The NFC won the turnover battle, but could not run the ball to save their lives. Donald Driver was the leading receiver. We didn't have any receivers. Let's see if anyone made any plays on defense for us. Daryl Finnan had 5 tackles to lead the whole thing. And Ike Taylor, he had himself a tackle. Nice. Anyone else? Just doing a quick look through. Oh, Dre Bly had the second most tackles. Wow, Vipers were all over the place here. All right, so now officially jumping into the offseason now. We made ourselves some money, $37 million in net income. And you can just look at all the money stuff there. Money's cool and whatnot. And let's see. I know I can at least leave with my dignity. Oh, so finally the 49ers coach is retiring after going 6-10, then 3-13 for back-to-back seasons, and then 5-11. So San Francisco getting themselves a new coach, which means they might be headed in the right direction because it looks like they got their quarterback now. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do here, I think I might be able to actually move the team to Albuquerque. I'll have to see. Because we've been the Albuquerque Vipers, obviously, this entire series. But if you look at the location there, it still says we're in St. Louis because we took over for the Rams. And that's why whenever we go to the local newspaper, it still says St. Louis and whatnot. So I'm going to see if I can actually relocate us to Albuquerque. I don't know if that's possible or not. Maybe I should have tried this beforehand, but let's see what happens here. Oh, there's no Albuquerque. There's Alexa. Or Alexandria. There's Santa Fe. Okay, you know what? Actually, I can go by state. I want to see if there's any others for New Mexico. Just one. I'm going to go to another... I'm going to go open another franchise or whatever and test that out. And if it does it... if it doesn't like change their name to like, because I don't want to be the Santa Fe Vipers. That completely ruins my intro I got with Weird Al's Albuquerque. And their interest is only 28, and their population is small. What's the smallest population? 10,000. I can relocate to a place with 10,000 people. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go test that out because I don't want to screw up my franchise here.
1 hour later.
All right, so I just took like an hour and a half trying to figure out if when I move the stadium to another place, if it changes the name. And yes, so if I did that, we would no longer be the Albuquerque Vipers. I could go to like Santa Fe or whatnot, but I don't really want to do that. So for now, at least, unless there's something else I don't know about, the newspaper will remain saying like the St. Louis Times or what, I don't remember what it's called, but it'll be the St. Louis newspaper. So we'll still, I guess, technically be in St. Louis, but we're in Albuquerque the same as we were before. So that's good to know, though. I didn't want to try that and then like screw up the entire name of the series. And also, if we move, it makes the fans mad and whatnot. And I mean, after going 12-4, let's not make our fans mad. So time to now actually finally jump into the offseason. All right, so Brian Billick, he's trying to leave, I guess. His contract just ran up, I think, is all. So, you know, obviously we're going to bring him back to be our head coach. Another team has outbid us. We're definitely getting him, though. There we go. We got him. And just a quick brush up on our coaching staff. Brian Billick, our head coach. He has been for a while now. Our offensive coordinator is Josh McDaniels. Someone's offered Rex Ryan a coaching job, I guess. He is our defensive coordinator. And then this guy is our special teams coordinator. Yeah, it looks like Rex Ryan is going to go to San Diego to be a head coach. And normally, if one of my coordinators is going to go be a head coach, I'll let them go do that. That's what happened to our offensive coordinator last offseason. He went to be the head coach over in Atlanta. So now it happens to our defensive coordinator, meaning we got to find a new one. And Ron Rivera might just be that guy. He looks like he's already... Oh, he wants to be a head coach, though. All right, so he's not that guy. Okay, so John Fox is now our defensive coordinator. Let's see what coaches are just available, just to see where people are going. Tom Coughlin, last on the Giants in 2007. He took a couple years off. Is anyone going to get him? Marty Schottenheimer. Coming off some good years with the Chargers, but they looks like they let him go. But I mean, in real life, they fired him after he went 14-2. So who knows? Jack Del Rio. He was the the Jaguars head coach before going to be the Patriots defensive coordinator. Now he's looking to join the rival of the Jaguars, one of them, in the Titans as their head coach. Bill Belichick is back? And potentially one of the Cardinals? Because Bill Belichick always retires after year one. If he ends up he comes out of retirement and goes to the Cardinals, that could be bad news for us, as obviously we're in the same division as them. But yeah, just taking a look at what's going on around the league. Looks like Andy Reid might be going to Carolina, so that's going to be good for them, I think. But yep, just looking at what's going on around the league when it comes to the head coaching world. We're just going to take a quick look now at the retired players. The only quarterback retiring is Charlie Batch, longtime backup on the Steelers, who hasn't done a whole lot. I think he was fourth string for a while. Fred Taylor is going to be retiring as a San Francisco 49er. He had one good year there with 1,200 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. Here's a fullback that's retiring. Terrell Owens is going to retire as a Jacksonville Jaguar after 3 years there. He had one pretty good season. He had 14 receiving touchdowns that year. Joe Jurevicius is going to retire. Brandon Stokely down the sideline. If you know, you know. He's going to be retiring. Toomer is going to retire as a Saint. I was unaware he was there. This is really unfortunate. Jai Wilson, just at, what is he, 24? 25 years old, out of Montana. He was a 4th-round pick. He played solid in his rookie season, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. First game of his second season, he goes down with a career-ending injury, and he's going to have to retire. That sucks. He got a couple more receivers retired, as well as Glenn Nash. Oh, man, he was good for us. We'll have to take a quick look at his stats here. He had almost 1,000 yards in his first season, 5 touchdowns, then a couple 600-yard seasons, and then this year he kind of fell off. He struggled with a lot of of drops and whatnot. But he was a superstar in year one, especially. I guess story-wise, we gave him a chance when we became the Vipers, and he took the most of that opportunity, showing that it's not all just overall. It's heart that matters. But yeah, he's going to be retiring. It looks like, how old is he? 33. He's only 33. But well, I guess that's about retirement age around here. But thank you, Glenn Nash. You were a fan favorite, and we will miss you. We got a couple tight ends retiring here. Got some tackles. Another career-ending injury. This guy also got hurt back in week 1. 2 career-ending injuries in week 1. Those are the only ones I know about, but that's just rough early on in the season there, too. Got some guards retiring, including Larry Allen. Doesn't look like there's a lot of big names here at defensive end or defensive tackle. Oh, Warren Sapp is going to retire as a Cincinnati Bengal. Looks like he maybe took a year off or got hurt or something. I don't know. Jamie Sharper is going to retire as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Kylie Wong is going to retire. That's fine because I wasn't going to re-sign him anyway. But another Viper that's going to retire. He was with us in 2007. He got us a couple sacks and an interception as well. Simmons. Yeah, no one else really up there. Edwards is going to retire as a Charger 37. That's old in this game. He seems to be pretty consistent for them. Ty Law is going to retire as a Saint. He spent 1 year there. Spent a couple years in Buffalo, and then obviously spent some time in New England. Rondé Barber is going to retire as a Green Bay Packer. Al Harris is also going to retire, so their secondary over in Lambeau is taking a hit. Brian Dawkins is going to retire, obviously, one of the all-time great safeties. Lawyer Malloy is going to retire as well. Got a couple kickers here retiring. No punters, though. All right, time to get into the re-signing period, and like half of our roster, honestly, like half of their deals are up. It's kind of crazy how many deals are up because it's back in year 2. We signed a lot of guys that are just 3-year deals, not really thinking all their deals are going to expire in the same year, and we've reached that point. John Clean is a 41 overall middle linebacker, but honestly, I really like the way he plays. He was a starting linebacker back in year 1 when we sucked. He did get an interception. He's not the fastest dude in the world at all. I'm not even sure where his speed is. 67 speed. But as a third string middle linebacker, he is not bad. And so if I can just re-sign him to just a short-term deal or whatever, just pay him the minimum veteran wage or whatever, I'm fine with having him there for depth. We're looking to re-sign Cooper here, our right guard. He's pretty solid. He's like a 91 overall. We're just going to sign him to this 1-year deal, though, because he is, 33 years old or something, but he accepts it. Jeff Robrich is another guy who's a little older. He's 33. He's an 89 overall, so he's regressed a little bit since last season, but he's the leader of our defense, a great middle linebacker. We're going to offer him this 2-year contract, and he will take it. Tommy Pauly, another outside linebacker, another guy, another veteran there who's getting up there in age, but he's a pretty solid linebacker for us. Only an 84 overall, so he's fairly inexpensive, so we're going to be re-signing him. Pete Hunter is a guy who's just been mainly depth at the cornerback position, but when he's been on the field, he seems to usually make the most out of it, and because of that, I am going to offer him a 2-year contract that he will accept. James Hall is someone who I signed to just a 1-year deal last year, kind of a prove-it deal because he was 32 at the time. He'd made the most of it. He got 7 sacks for us, but he is 33, so I'm going to just sign him to another 1-year deal, and hopefully he can play good for us. Rodney Williams has been a fairly good punter for us, so we're going to sign him to this 3-year extension, and we're going to keep him around. And now to go through a lot of the players that we're probably not going to be bringing back, starting with Kyle Payne, been here since year 1, solid left tackle. He's been there for depth, though, the past few years, and we're going to let him go, as well as this right guard. Edgerrin James, the one who we brought him back in, I think, week 5 or 6. We're going to let him go. We might re-sign him in the regular free agency period if no one else is, but we're going to let him go. Dante Hall's one of those guys, I don't know. What's his speed at? He's down to a 95 speed. He's been pretty solid for us in his receiving game. He has 2 years here with a couple hundred yards. And obviously his punt returning and kick returning, mainly his kick returning, has been really good. 3 touchdowns. That's someone else who I might consider bringing in later too, but he's also getting up there in age. Chris Wilson's just a tight end who is there for depth. Mike Adams is interesting because he actually does have a fair amount of interceptions. He had 4 for us this season. But for now, we're going to let him test free agency. Dre Bly is someone who I'm going to be letting go of too. He did make the Pro Bowl in his 2 years with us, but if you've noticed, he's gotten burnt a lot, especially this past season. Yeah, he has 15 interceptions in just 2 years with us, which is amazing, really, but he's 33. He's regressing even more, so we're going to let him hit free agency. Josh McCown is somebody, I don't know, he's interesting because obviously Orlando Cross is our guy. But Josh McCown, we want a good backup, and Josh McCown has been that for us. Let's see how much he's asking for. He's not asking for a ton, is he? Similar to a lot of the other guys, we're going to let him test the market, see what's there. If no one else is really interested in him, we will definitely look to bring him back because we want a good backup quarterback behind Orlando. Derek Dockery, okay left guard for us. He's going to go. Michael Bennett, he has been good for us. He's down to a 71 overall. His speed has gone from 97 to 90 in just 2 years, so he's definitely regressing. Jordan Babinock's another interesting guy who I might look to re-sign later on in the video. Because he's a young guy, but he's had his struggles throughout his 3 years so far in Albuquerque. Drew Bennett is another guy who I guess I want to re-sign him, but at the same time, I'm trying to go for realism here too. And we just don't use him the right way that he should be getting used. I just don't do a good job of that. And I guess for the sake of realism or story or whatnot, maybe that's stupid, I don't know. But, he doesn't have any more than a 600-yard season and 6 receiving touchdowns. So maybe he's frustrated. He wants to go somewhere else. But he's not, I guess, opposed to coming back to Albuquerque. We're going to let him go. We're going to let Akbar hit the free market. We're going to let Darnell Bing go as well, as he was demoted to backup this past season. Demario Minter, we're also going to let him go. And we're going to be missing a lot of guys, so we got to replace a lot of them in the upcoming free agency period. Well, free agency has come and gone, and it was a pretty big one for the Vipers. Starting off, Larry Fitzgerald himself hit the open market. He only got one offer immediately. That was from us, and he immediately took it. He'll be rocking, at least for the time being, number 19. I don't want to give him 11 because that's Charles Phillips' number, and he's kind of already established himself as a good receiver. I don't want to take his number away, but yeah, we got him. We got Ben Taylor at outside linebacker, the former Packer, coming here. Terrence Newman at cornerback. Seneca Wallace at quarterback to be Orlando's backup. Roddy White at wide receiver. Owen Daniels for some depth at tight end. Same with MJD, except for depth at running back, obviously. Looking at the quarterbacks, looks like only 3 has been signed outside of Seneca. Carson Palmer, he's going to the New York Giants. Why is he going to New York? Because Eli, new team, same city, new team. He's going to the Jets. Phillip Rivers did hit the open market, but then he returned to the Chargers. Guys like Chad Pennington, Jake Delhomme, Culpepper, Plummer, McCown, Sims, Alex Smith, they're all still free agents as of now. Larry Johnson's going to the Green Bay Packers. Kind of surprising considering Dominique Rhodes was really good for them last season. Landanian Tomlinson, the reigning MVP, is going to the Steelers. Dominique Davis did hit free agency. He's going to be returning to the Texans, though. Willie Parker is going to the Jets. Brian Westbrook to the Chiefs. And it looks like that's pretty much it for the running back signings. The best fullback is going to go to the Packers. Just not a whole lot going on. Well, actually a lot going on here. A lot of teams signing fullbacks. But yeah. The best wide receiver was not Larry Fitzgerald, though. Steve Smith at a 99 overall. He's also going to the New York Jets. So look out for the Jets next season, man. Their offense might be scary. Obviously, we also got Larry Fitzgerald on our team. And to replace him over in Arizona, they signed Deion Branch. Donald Driver is going to the Panthers. Chris Chambers to the Buccaneers, as is Dante Stallworth. Reggie Brown is going to the Saints. Wasn't he already there at one point? Nope. Okay, I was mistaken. He's going to the Saints for the first time, as is Joey Porter. Is it his first time? Now I got to check. It is. That's right, because Joey Porter played for the Raiders. Coles is leaving New York and going to the Patriots. Drew Bennett's going to the Patriots. I'm glad to see he got signed. And it looks like that's it for the wide receivers. Todd Heap, the best tight end in the league, or at least one of the best, is going to the Houston Texans. Algie Crumpler is going to the Saints. Jason went to the Jets, so they're getting another big piece on offense. Tony G is heading to Cincinnati. LJ Smith is going to the Eagles. Part of me wants to say he already was there, and indeed he was. Randy McMichael is going to the Denver Broncos. Chad Clifton leaving the Packers. He's going to the Eagles. Matt Light's going to the Bears. Thomas is going to the Colts. Davis is going to the Jets. They're still getting stacked, it looks like. The Cowboys get a left tackle there as well. Looking at the left guard, once again, the Packers are up there getting Floyd Womack at left guard. The Eagles get one there, as do the Raiders. The Packers getting another left guard. I don't know if they're going to move one of them to right guard or what. The Colts get some help on the O-line as well. Jeff Saturday, he's leaving the New York Giants, which is where he was the past 3 years. He's going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Looking at right guard, the Chiefs get one there. Then you have the Broncos getting one, as are the Jags. And the Jets, wow, the Jets must have someone take over the general manager responsibilities because, man, they're getting good players now. Only one right tackle has been signed so far. That is Willie Anderson. He's headed off to Baltimore. Robert Mathis is going to be joining the Chicago Bears. A Goulier from Wakanda. Rest in peace to the Black Panther dude. I can't remember his name now. I'm really blanking on it. But yeah, that was just a little side trail, I guess, or whatever. He's going to Atlanta. You got Michael Strahan heading to the Indianapolis Colts. At the right end position there, you got a Dwight Freeney going to the Chiefs. Kabir Jobi-Amelia is heading to the Colts. And then the Packers get a guy there to replace him. Alex Brown's headed to Atlanta. John Abraham going to Pittsburgh. Jared Allen to Cleveland. Casey Hampton, the former Pittsburgh Steelers, is staying inside the division, going to the Browns. And then to replace him in Pittsburgh, they're getting Vince Wilfork. You got Rodgers there to the Chiefs. Jenkins to the Bears. The Vikings getting one, as are the Ravens. Just a lot of defensive tackles here getting signed. Albert Hainsworth not signed. Pickett's going to the Bengals there. The only right outside linebacker, or left outside linebacker, excuse me, he's going to Atlanta. And then the Colts get Brian Urlacher. Wow, a big signing there for them. Nick Barnett leaves the Packers. He goes to the Browns. Gary Brackett's headed to Tennessee. Andre Davis is to Atlanta. Dan Morgan, he's going to Cincinnati. And then so is Lance Briggs. The Bears defense kind of falling apart. They did have that one big signing, but they're losing two big names there. The Bengals defense looking kind of scary, though. Keith Bullock is going to the Browns. We got Ben Taylor coming here. June is headed to Atlanta. Atlanta getting low-key stacked as well. Even better, Takeo Spikes is headed to the Chargers. At cornerback, David's going to the Raiders. Mathis to the Colts. Philip Buchanan staying with Houston. Chris McAllister's headed to Detroit. Charles Tillman is going to Jacksonville. Asante Samuel to Green Bay. And then we got ourselves Terrence Newman. Only two safeties signed. Chris Crocker to the Steelers and Ryan Clark to the Ravens. And then looking at strong safety, Ed Reed. This is a freaking crazy free agency period. Like, all the big names seem to be switching teams. He's headed to the Chargers. Michael Lewis to the Colts. Doss is going to the Vikings. Wilson is headed to Detroit. Williams to Oakland. And then the kickers here, Neil Rackers is headed to Green Bay. Got to change that number 15 there. Seabass on his fifth team in 5 years or whatever. He's going to Houston. And yeah, just kickers being kickers and getting a new team every season. And then the Packers also get the best punter on the market as well. Just take a look at some of where the other ones. Look, the Jets. They're getting completely stacked. They got a good punter now too. But they're probably hoping he's not going to be very busy. Okay, so now heading into the draft, we're going to take a look at my draft board I've got right now, starting with this free safety, who we're probably not going to get because he's projected to go in the top 10. Derek Gordon. Free safety is probably our biggest need right now. It says he's okay. He is a tad bit slow, though, but he's never dealt with injuries. I also looked at this other free safety who's faster, even though it doesn't say he's that fast. He seems to be pretty decent. He's 6'3", so he's pretty big dude for a free safety, too. Or is it? I don't know. but he has had some injury concerns. And then projected to go into the first or second round, you got Derek Rogers here, who looks pretty good. Then got a running back. Is looking at here. His name is Deron Bayham. Not much there about him. This guy I really liked when I scouted him, Rocco Elliott. He forced 2 fumbles when I was doing the little drills with him, so he looks pretty good. Took a look at this wide receiver, Jordan here. He's 6'3", seems to be an okay receiver. He does struggle with injuries. Then I looked at this quarterback, projected to go in the 5th round, Jim Middleton. He seems to be okay, I guess. Maybe if he's there, we'll take him, because we could use possibly a better third stringer than Dave Douglas. And then look at this wide receiver, Todd Whiteman. He is 6'5". He runs a 4.35, projected to go in the 6th round. He says he's a fairly durable player, win a lot of jump balls and whatnot. But he's not really consistent in catching, so we'll have to see about him. But on to the draft. Now it's our turn. Oh, there's a strong safety here that fell to us. He's projected to go in the top 10. Looking at the guys I've scouted, though, I don't know. The only thing is I didn't scout him at all. Let's take a bit closer look. Coverage safety, that's fine. Projected to go in the top 10, he fell to us. Is there a reason he fell to us, though? 23 years old, 200 pounds, 5'11". He runs a 4.32, shuttle time, blah, 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 blah. He's a good vertical. His IQ test is average. I did not scout him. This could be really stupid. I feel like I say that every year at the draft, but Wade Sheepmid? That was awful. I butchered that so bad. But no matter. We're going to draft you. All right, we are in the 2nd round now, pick number 30. And this might be a little bit of a reach. He's projected to go in the 3rd or 4th, but Rocco Elliott, I really liked the little drill I did with him. Maybe that's stupid to go off of just one drill, but I really like the way that he played. He's been durable throughout his career, and if he doesn't turn out good, we kind of have some backup plans. We got some good outside linebackers on the team already, so we are going to draft him. Okay, in the 3rd round here, we're going for just a little bit of depth. We're going to draft Rob Quinn, a strong safety. And they did not like that. Another pick that might be a tad bit of a reach. He's projected to go in the 6th round, but this guy is too tall and too fast for me not to take. So we're going to take Todd Whitman, wide receiver. And they booed me again. All right, in the 5th round now, just going for some more depth. We're going to get Clint Watson. And why are you booing me? Our 6th round pick is going to go to more depth. Joey Hutton, a left tackle. And they're still booing. All right. We still have a couple picks left to make, but we're going to take a quick recap at the draft. The Bears with their 1st round pick, they go with a strong safety. They also got a left guard here, building up that offensive line and the linebacking core. The Bengals went with a tight end in the 1st round, Mr. Mullen here. And then they got some offensive linemen and their potential quarterback. I have no idea who's quarterbacking now in Cincinnati. I know that Palmer is gone. The Bills went with a middle linebacker in the 1st round. There was also a center and a right outside linebacker that they took. The Broncos beefing up that offensive line and that secondary there with their draft picks. The Browns, they go with quarterback in the 2nd round because I believe they've lost Chris Hill as an unrestricted free agent to the Dallas Cowboys. So maybe they're going with this dude here, D'Angelo, to be their quarterback. But in the 1st round, they went with a right guard. The Buccaneers, with the 1st overall pick, took Mr. Tanner, a right end there. Nice to see that they did not go quarterback. I really hope they give their guy that they drafted a couple years ago a chance. The Cardinals also went with a left end there, or a defensive end, with Lawrence in the 1st round. The Chargers did not have a 1st round pick, but in the 2nd round, they took Ricks at wide receiver. The Chiefs took a tight end to replace Algie Crumpler, and then they took another one to back him up. The Colts had 2 first-round picks. They spent them on a left guard and another wide receiver, trying to give Peyton Manning a lot of weapons, try to go back-to-back maybe. The Cowboys went with a wide receiver in the first round. The Dolphins at the 4th overall pick go with a quarterback. Hopefully they're hoping that they're going to find their guy, because the Dante Culpepper experiment did not work out well for them. The Eagles in the 2nd round took a running back. They also got a wide receiver. The Falcons doubled down both on right guard and on left outside linebacker. The 49ers with the 3rd overall pick, they got Joel Morton, a weapon there with Floyd. They also got some linebackers. The Giants went with a running back with their 1st round pick. They also got a strong safety and then another running back. 4 straight running backs for Jacksonville. What are they doing? They have bigger holes than that. My goodness gracious. I don't know if they just didn't think they drafted one and just kept going. And then they got 3 cornerbacks too. Jacksonville, you are always interesting, aren't you? The Jets go with a defensive tackle early on, and then also they get some outside linebackers. The Lions go with a left tackle, which probably means Lorenzo Perry is not going to be seeing any playing time anytime soon, at least in Detroit. They also got a left guard. The Packers went with a tight end to replace Todd Heap, who's now in Houston. The Panthers went with a free safety. They went with this other guy I was looking at here. They got 2 guys with the same name. I wonder if they're brothers or something. Strickland, that's not a name you see often. The Patriots got a defensive tackle there. They got themselves a couple linebackers as well and some tackles. The Raiders, only 3 draft picks for them, 2 of them in the 1st round with wide receiver and running back, and then they got a quarterback in the 7th. The Ravens got a quarterback with the 2nd overall pick. They took a quarterback in the 1st round 2 years ago. He's barely gotten any playing time, so that's very interesting to see. They also drafted a corner. They had 2 picks in the top 10 because they traded up. The Redskins, they took Flowers. They're looking to get a new quarterback. Obviously, they did get a new quarterback because David Carr and Jason Campbell just weren't cutting it. They also got a cornerback, a kicker, and a linebacker. The Saints went with a free safety with their 1st round pick. Gray is going to the Seahawks, a defensive end there. They also got a defensive tackle. And for whatever reason, they drafted 3 kickers. The Steelers got a couple tackles here. Their first 3 picks were all offensive linemen. The Texans got a defensive tackle, also a left end. The Titans went with a left tackle with the 5th overall pick. They also looks like they got a quarterback late in the round, but that's probably not really going to matter for them. The Vikings got Gordon, one of the players that I was looking at in the 1st round. Then they doubled down at safety, went with strong safety here. And then we got our draft, which we'll take a more in-depth look at in a sec. And to round out our draft, we're going to take this center here, Vincent Howry. And they're still booing like the last 5 picks they just did not like. All right, taking a recap of our draft in the 1st round, we took Wade here at the strong safety position. He is an 87 overall. There was a reason he was projected to go in the top 10. I don't know why he fell to us, but I'm okay they did. 93 speed. We're probably going to be moving him to free safety, but man, he looks like he's going to be really good for us. And then later in the 2nd round, we got Rocco Elliott. He's a 78 overall. And then we took Rob Quinn, who's also 78. Todd Whitman, a wide receiver. He's got 91 speed. He's 6'5". And then we got some depth at left guard. Watson's a 74. Hudson is a 73. And then Howry is a 67. Okay, looking at the 2nd period of free agency, we signed Najee Davenport, the former Green Bay Packer. We're actually going to be playing him at the fullback position for us. We also brought back Dante Hall. I wanted one more wide receiver and didn't have someone there for a kick returning and whatnot, so I was like, why not Dante Hall? Bringing him back. And we got some depth there with our guard and right end as well. Looking at some of the signings, Chad Pennington's going to the Bears, Jake Delhomme to the Raiders, Culpepper's going to the Denver Broncos, Jake Plummer's headed to Carolina, Josh McCown, it's nice to see he got a job, he's going to Kansas City, and that's it for quarterbacks. Chris Brown is headed to the Chargers, Jordan to the Browns, Rudy Johnson to the Eagles, Deuce McAllister to the Bengals, Taylor to the Vikings, Edgerrin James goes to the Saints, J.J. Omens goes to the Patriots. I remember him from Detroit. That's right. Bruce goes to the Texans. I believe he's a former Buccaneer. Indeed, he is. Jamal Lew, he's headed to Pittsburgh TJ Duckett's going to the Titans, and then we got ourselves Najee Davenport. Got some fullback signings here as well, including Walt Morrison, who we did let go in free agency. He signs with our rival in the Seattle Seahawks. Antonio Bryant's going to the Chargers, as are these two guys as well. Chargers must have been low on wide receivers. Clayton's headed to the Bears. The Jets got another weapon in Melvin Wallace, who was actually a first-round pick from the Bengals last year. I don't know if he's just a locker room distraction, is why they let them go or whatnot after just one season. But, I mean, the Jets are doing what they're doing. Peter Warrick's also headed to Chicago. Arna's battles to the Chiefs. Chiefs also got Gardner. Curry is getting signed, as is Dante Hall. Looking at tight end, Kellen Winslow is headed to the Raiders. Johnson to the Cardinals. Poutsier to the Bears. Doug Jolly is going to Cincinnati. We got some tackles here. The Chiefs really doubling down there on left tackles. I guess they need a bunch of them there. Looking at left guard, the Texans got the best one that was currently on the market. The Chiefs got a center, so they're really beefing up their O-line. They might be really good next season too. The Colts beef up their offensive line even more, really protecting Peyton Manning back there. The Seahawks get an offensive right tackle there. The Bengals do. And then the Packers get two of them there. Looking at left end, Smith is headed to the Saints. You got a guy going to the Packers, a guy to the Chargers, a guy to the Bengals. The Saints getting another good pass rusher here in Jason Taylor. The Eagles are getting a defensive tackle, as are the Packers, the Redskins, the Panthers, the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Outside linebacker, left outside linebacker more specifically, the Vikings are signing one. Diggs is headed to the Texans. The Eagles and Packers are signing some. Texans getting another one there for some depth. The Patriots signed Thurman to be a backup middle linebacker. He's a 91 overall, but in case you forgot, the Patriots got Ray Lewis on their team. So, yeah, they're pretty overpowered, I guess, now at that linebacker. They better be running a 3-4 the way they got all their linebackers there. And then they also signed Keith Brooking, the former Atlanta Falcon. He's coming off a pretty good season there. And Greenwood, he's headed to the Saints. That's a fairly big signing. He's a pretty good player. Looking at cornerback, this guy Hood is going to the Steelers. Winfield is headed to Seattle. Jordan Babinox, he's got himself a job now in Arizona. So he's just taken an NFC West tour because he was originally with the Seahawks, then with us, and now with Arizona. All he's missing is San Francisco. Dre Bly also got a job. He's headed to the Bengals. That's nice to see. I like seeing my former players get on other teams. Here's Mike Adams, another former player. He's headed to the Chargers, who we are playing this coming up season, so we'll get to see him again. Wilson is going to Philadelphia. The Bengals get Mr. Greg Blue. The Bills and Chiefs also getting a strong safety. The Redskins get Chris Brown at kicker. And then just more punters were signed. Guys who didn't have them already, I guess, and whatnot. And that's the end of the second wave of free agency. Alright, I forgot to really show it, but we did sign Alex Smith, the former San Francisco 49er quarterback, to be our third stringer, because he's in this universe, he is not good at all. Dave Douglas, our quarterback since year one, or he's been on the roster since year one, I should say. Take a look at his 2 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. He's a 69 overall. Nice, but not really, because 69 overall in like Madden 20 or Madden 21 or whatever, that's like an okay like backup or maybe third stringer or whatever. In this game, that is like awful. I'd be like the equivalent of like a 40 overall or something, 50 overall in the new Maddens. So the overalls are different and whatnot. But when he had to come into the game, especially in that conference championship, he could not move the ball at all. I mean, also, what could you expect from him as a third-string quarterback? But at the same time, maybe if we had someone a little bit better, we'd have him, or maybe we'd go to the Super Bowl. I don't know. But Dave Douglas, I'm going to send him over to the Minnesota Vikings for a 6th-round pick, but they don't want to do that. Alright, so we're actually going to be sending Dave Douglas over to the Buffalo Bills. In return, we're getting a 6th-round pick for next year. Just try to get a little bit of something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a wrap for this video. Probably another long off-season video, but I like giving you guys all the details and whatnot, a lot of stuff that's going on, you know, what players went where, stuff that I really enjoy looking at and whatnot, and probably a lot of you guys do too. You know, with these old Madden games, it actually shows you like what teams they were on and what years and all that good stuff like that. I'm excited to jump into year 5 now. I might do some preseason, might post some preseason highlights, just all 4 preseason games, just the highlights of those in one video. Just to maybe, you know, immerse myself and you guys a little bit more into this series. Well, thank you all for watching if you made it this far into the video. And yeah, this has been Jeffrey, reminding you to stay moist.